Currently 2.5 weeks out, and my body is hitting the brakes hard right now, trying to get me to stop losing any more body fat. I went for a walk this morning. I think I was at about 3,000 steps, and I had to take a break on the side of the road. Man, it felt like I had cement tied to my ankles. It's honestly pretty remarkable how effective your body is at conserving energy when it needs to. But bodybuilding is about taking all those signals from the body and saying, fuck you, I can keep going. Doing anything hard and sharing that definitely has an effect on people in a positive way. I've seen the effect on my clients, a lot of them pushing harder because it's almost like I'm setting an example almost. People on social media saying that they started training or they started trying to cut because of what I was doing. But then unfortunately, people that you care about the most are usually the ones who cop it the hardest. My partner Bella, she's not throwing me out yet. Accepting that I haven't been my happy, cheery self all the time, and still just being understanding of that. Doing her best to not hold it against me, which is easier said than done.
He has been really kind of patient through it, because I know that he's depleted and he's cranky a lot of the time and kind of his attention's elsewhere. But he's been really resilient. He hasn't been too cranky, to be honest. Haven't had too many fights, but he's pushed through. Really proud of him. I think that he just wants to see how far he can push himself. Just wants to see what he can do. And I commend him on doing it natty, because being on gear is one thing, but actually truly seeing how hard you can push yourself physically, just natural, is really impressive.
Currently 18 days out. Things are definitely things are definitely getting to the point of being quite difficult now. Had a leg day yesterday, and it was probably the hardest session I've ever done in my life. Me, maybe 6 months ago, probably left the gym after one set, but I think because I do have such a tangible goal that is so close and obviously so important to me, I feel that was the only reason why I was able to do what I did. I saw a photo the other day of how I looked pre-prep, and it's crazy. You don't realize how different you are looking. You don't realize how much you're changing when it's so incremental, until you look back and you're like, holy shit, I was a different person. Just my face is so different. I look so much bigger in clothes. It's really crazy. And I think that goes without saying, when there's any incremental change over time, whether that's physical or psychological, you don't notice it until you kind of look back and you're like, holy shit, I'm a different person. I put extra brick on each day, and now I've built a whole house. Then you make a change, you cope with that new challenge, and you come to the next challenge, and you overcome that, and you overcome that, and then in overcoming all these things, you build up all these habits, and then before you know it, you're like, damn, I kind of have really changed as a person. And it's hard not to really just feel philosophical about that kind of stuff most days now. So now, about 2.5 weeks out, get through this week of hard training, get through next week of hard training, and then it's peak week, where we'll probably be dialing back, I would say, the intensity of the training as we leap to the comp number 1. So things are definitely getting real now, man. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm excited, but I'm just trying to stay focused on these next couple of weeks, get it done. Let's go.
I remember I think it was around 10 weeks out being definitely the hard point. And since then, it's got objectively a lot harder, but I think my mindset's improved a lot. I think the last couple of weeks, I've had some days where just moving from the lounge to the kitchen just felt just getting up has been so difficult. A couple challenges, like my sister having a surprise wedding and watching her sister get married and not being able to eat or drink anything at the wedding, that was kind of shit. So it was supposed to be an engagement party and ended up getting married. And I'm like, you really do it now, couldn't you wait? I just remind myself in situations like that I chose this. You can't start thinking like a victim, because then again, you're just taking power away from yourself there.
Today, I am exactly 7 days out from show 1. And it's a strange time because I'm very depleted, energy's very low. My brain is all over the place, but at the same time, I'm pretty excited because 28 weeks of dieting is coming to this one moment, this one point in time. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting next 7 days, but as I said, mixed emotions at the moment. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I've got a lot of self-doubt, but I'm eager to take you guys with me. Let's do it. Right, I'll wake up probably 3 times of the night to piss, and if I wake up to piss like past 3, I'm not sleeping. Yesterday, my food increased, so I started eating carbs again and that, like high carbs, so I'm feeling a bit more human. For the last, I don't know how many weeks, I've been having to do at least 14,000 steps a day. Today, because comp's tomorrow, I only have to do 3K steps, so I'm so happy. I can don't have to spend my whole day walking. To Belle, and I'll just watch TV with her, and we can just walk on this and get steps done. So good, man. It honestly was a lifesaver because for the first half of prep, if I'd got home and say I was like 3K steps under, I would be spending like, me and Belle would be watching on TV, I'd just be doing this, walking around. Like, I'd just do laps of like that little figure 8 like 20 times. Well, no, 220 times, probably like fucking 100 times.
Yeah. I haven't really allowed myself to feel very excited until the last few days, and then it's all kind of hit me all at once. Like, I felt so much more energetic than I usually do, because I'm like, I go to sleep thinking about it. I wake up at like 3 a.m, can't sleep, and I'm just laying in bed thinking about it. So I'm definitely keen, but I'm also nervous because at the start of prep, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do my best. I don't care, I'm just gonna do my best, and if I'm happy with the effort I put in, I'll be happy. But I've got to this point now where I'm like, nah, I want to beat people. I want to get up there, and like I've put a lot of work in, and I don't want to come out, being one of the bottom half. But I want to hold my own against people that have been doing it for a while, and I'm excited to see if I can achieve that, and if I've done enough work to be able to achieve that. But I'm also nervous because you never know. It's a subjective sport, and it depends who shows up on the day as well.
Big meal, but I'll have another meal in a couple of hours pre my little session in the gym. Just a light session today because we don't want to create too much fatigue for tomorrow. The fact I'm eating rice is a big thing. But yesterday was the bigger carb day. So this is like a probably moderate carb day today. Yesterday was a pretty big carb day, and then tomorrow is just about topping up the carb stores. Yeah, the carb stores. Yeah, tomorrow just to be as full as possible, but not being too full, still being kind of tight as well.
Like, what's the point of getting to the end of your life and being like, I'm so glad that I did just enough hard stuff so that I could go to the pub on the weekend and have fun, and go on a holiday every 6 months. Like, realistically, like, maybe that gives fulfillment to some people, but I know that in years' time, doing hard things like this, I look back and be like, you know what, I'm really glad that I sacrificed enough to have that experience. Because, again, as cliche as it sounds, that is really where the growth is as a person, I think.
Bodybuilding is subjective, it depends who shows up as well. But realistically, especially in like the first timers and the rookies, I want to do well. I want to be like top 2. I'll be happy if I can do that. And if I end up making it to the overalls and I can hold my own, then I'm pretty stoked with that, honestly.